Okay, we're on.
So we ate at 9 o'clock.
Wait, something's not right.
And so I had to
Sequence is
Sure.
You're right. I wrote the paragraph. I invented the second paragraph. All three of them.
Sure. We should see that. I mean, nowadays, as you probably know, Scott, I mean, specs probably in the last like 10 years. Every project we're on is trash. You know, you get to.
Because they're trying to bang it out, get it out the door.
Yeah. Day to day, we go in, look at the specifications, RFIs come out.
Oh, yeah.
Never.
That's been going on for the last 50 years that I know.
We call them, put it like.
Yeah, no, that hasn't changed. They expect humans as the one bidding and they're not supposed to understand. They were back.
We pay for everything.
Well, they should be. If they can't ask correctly, they want people instead of who. They said who. They expect to pay.
Well, what I know is if you credit something.
Do what?
It's a tenth of the credit. Yeah, if it's an ad, it's 10 times.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. I get that all the time. Did Fred call you? Talk to you about.
Flight attendants, it's a beautiful night, there's a lot of games going on.
I only get like.
So let's try to get through the agenda. The first thing is called to order, which I've done, pledge allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. The next item on the agenda is public comment. So I don't know if anybody is online or I don't know if we're.
I think it's three.
So open it up to public comment. If anybody has any comments.
No hands raised.
No hands raised. So moving on, the next item on the agenda is to approve the 520 minutes that I distributed. Motion to approve.
So moved.
Yes,
Second.
yeah, third.
All those in favor?
Is somebody volunteered to take the notes? Volunteer? I just take care of myself in an hour. Will we done in an hour?
Charlie. So the next item on the agenda was potential survey.
She was our secretary.
Yeah, they're
building.
I don't know, where do we
Maybe I know,
on
it's
this
somebody
survey?
else.
Are we gonna do a joint sort of meeting?
Yeah.
Where
Just wanted
So I guess the survey results will be reviewed in June.
So the survey was done, and the idea behind the survey was that we would incorporate the survey results into our proposal. Yeah, we haven't talked about it, we haven't really discussed it, we did get the final report. And I think that it's really important that we talk about the results of that survey, even if we don't have the consultant here to present anything to us. Because it was to guide us as we put together our proposal. We're just completely ignoring it, we're doing our own thing, just throw that in the wastebasket, doesn't matter, just. And I think, you know, it's just really disingenuous to not review it. It has some very specific information about what people want and what they don't want. How much are they willing to spend or not spend? And I think we need to take that into consideration.
Well, I think part of the thought was we did share the results. You know, Nick did present sort of a summary of the results. I think everybody has seen the survey. Our hope is that that's all being incorporated into, you know, into the work that you're doing right now. But I do hear you on it. It's, and our
I've
hope.
been working all along with my proposal, thinking that, oh, as long as we came in below 100 million, but now I'm sure that we all received an email that shows that actually 70 million is going to be, you know, closer to the target of what people have indicated they'd be willing to spend for to fix the school issues. So are we targeting 70 million, 100 million, or what? And it really makes a huge difference.
Well, I think that the memo that Tom distributed, you know, at the corridor of $200 to $400 impact or 400,000 of evaluation, he has said it's in the 70 to 130 million corridor. So I think the last time we talked, and we've had discussions, that I think Tom indicated 100 million is probably, you know, the sweet spot, if you will, for that number, if that's helpful.
Well, I mean, I understand that he must be using John Fucci's spreadsheet that has not been updated since last year. It does not update, it doesn't include the revaluation, the new values. It doesn't include the 8 million of borrowing that we did last year. It doesn't, I mean, there's just so much that it doesn't include, and we're not following it. I mean, it's like this spreadsheet that's out there and no one's paying attention to it, except when we want to use it to show that we can afford $100 million project, and that taxpayers won't really be, you know, affected as much. Where if you use like bond information and interest rates, it could very well show some, I have not done the calculation, but it could very well show something completely different. And anyway, I'm just registering my concern about this.
I hear you, and I think, you know, this part of the process, again, because we don't have the rehab costs and we're making some estimates, as I understood it, this part of the process, phase one, is to identify areas or solutions that will then be moved to phase two, and presumably a lot more in depth. You know, there is money in the budget, as I understand it, to hire the outside expertise to really start landing some of those numbers we're talking about. And I'm sure that includes, Tom indicated he did update Clucci's model. I haven't seen it, but that certainly should be part of phase two evaluation.
You send the link to the updated version of the model.
I certainly can ask Tom, yeah.
Provided.
I can certainly ask Tom, yeah.
Along those.
No, those are all good points, so thank you.
Isn't the escalation she's talking about a function of the duration of building the building?
What escalation? What are you asking?
The 8% per year for finance amount. It's gonna take you 2 to 3 years to build a building, and you're gonna be financing the money over 2 or 3 years.
Well, I think what we assume, the 8% is the inflation factor or cost of whatever we're gonna do, how many years out? So we're inflating today's construction cost.
Right, 'cause you got multiple buildings to worry about, so therefore,
Right.
with the Harriman ones, if you look at the numbers, they start out at 35 million for the Dunstan school.
Yeah.
Blue Point, then it goes to 45 million for 8 corners. Then it goes to 50-something million for the smallest of the 3 schools. Because of finance issues, because of the bonds going long over a period of about 8 years.
Well, and I think the costs that you're talking about, the construction costs, are just a function of pure escalation. You take the numbers we're talking about, you inflate them 8% a year. If you've got a project 5 years out, that's a fair amount of inflation. I think what Sue was talking about was some of the assumptions that are in the model of how does it impact what it's gonna cost taxpayers, which then assumes something about the bond rates that we borrow at.
Well, yeah, it will affect that.
Yeah,
There's no
and
doubt about that.
But there's two, there's the construction inflation and then there's the bond rates, which are all parts of the equation. But again, we're trying to, at a 30,000-mile view, just move concepts forward to the next phase, or a lot of these numbers will be much more precise.
So we get into the architect
Right.
that the town hires to finish out.
Well, whatever they decide in phase 2, the outside consultants have budgets for.
Jack Fay, I'm sorry, I played golf today, so I was out in the sun for a long time. So maybe I'm not getting it, but why do we need a consultant to come in and review the survey results when you guys made it very good in the town of Scarborough School Building Survey Executive Summary? Told us all facts and figures. And we can figure that out because you made it very clear.
The intent in what Sue was talking about, we wanted to have happen, is to have the consultants come so that you all could ask questions, interpretations, are you looking at the survey's results correctly? But you're right, there's a summary. And a lot of the things are pretty clear about what people have said.
Yeah, I mean,
A
a good one here is 36% of respondents who had an opinion indicated they voted to support the consolidated school plan. That means 63% didn't. That's pretty clear. I mean, numbers.
So our hope is that you are using that as you're thinking about your individual solutions, that you'll.
My question is, why do I need somebody to come in as a consultant to tell me what I just read?
We thought, and as you heard from Sue, that there's an interest in talking to the consultant. But anyway, so that's the genesis of the conversation, but as it's worked out, that's gonna be later. When they come in and talk to the Board of Education and Town Council.
Just for a little historical context, the last time we did a townwide survey, they came in and did a quick presentation. Kind of put the cherry on top of the ice cream type of thing. So
I'm on a diet.
But yeah, we have all of the data. You have their executive summary already in front of you. It is what they're just gonna reiterate it in a public forum.
It's usually the part of the homily where I fall asleep.
Yeah.
I think we can use, the survey did its job. The report from the consultants that did the survey did their job. You all did a summary, and time is going by, and next week we're gonna be giving some sort of presentation, and even this Thursday. So I can't speak for everybody here, but this team has gone down the road of a concept that wants to address the survey. And I think it touches on the summary in all points. So I really think we have good information to have the concepts speak to the summary.
So with that, let's, I know we're trying to move through the agenda tonight. It's a nice night. So that, the other item on our list, the Communications Committee has asked to just kind of update us on, they've got a lot of things in play. They're doing a great job, so we'd love to hear from them.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks, everyone. So Louise Secredell, co-chair of communications team. We're all here. Mighty strong team. I wanted to update you all on our forum for this Thursday. I know we've been sending out some emails about it. we've got some flyers, so please, if you haven't seen these or gotten these out, pick some up, send them out. We're hoping we can have a big showing on Thursday from members. I mean, if you can't make it, please invite friends, family. It's at 6:30 to 8 in the middle school cafeteria. There will be a recording of the event done so that we can have it to share widely. And if you have a question.
Middle school or Wentworth?
It's at the middle school.
It changed?
This says
Yes.
Wentworth.
Middle school cafeteria, the new one. Yeah. Yeah, we had to change venue last week. And have updated the materials, so please get updated flyers, middle school cafeteria. You go to Wentworth, there's a 5th grade rock concert.
Right, there's a full concert happening at Wentworth, and so if we were to hold this at the same time, there would not be ample parking. We would probably not be able to hear people in the cafeteria because they'll be using the gym, which is adjoining, so it wasn't gonna work.
Are you gonna put a sign up at Wentworth just saying it's been moved to the middle
Yes.
school for
Yes.
those folks that go there?
Yeah, we will. Thankfully, it's next door, so we'll have a okay, so again, the goal for this forum is to really inform the public what we've been working on, because, we are a motivated committee, but we do not represent all of Scarborough. So we really want to get the word out there what we've been doing, get people's feedback and input on the ideas that we've come up with to date. I mean, again, the whole reason why we're doing this is to come up with a solution that works and that will get approved by the voters. We need to get people involved early. That's what the survey also suggests, that people want to have more input in the process. We want to do things differently from last time. We've already started doing things differently from last time, but let's be sure to include everybody. So that's why we're having this forum. We're really hoping to get some engagement and then use the forum as a model for future conversations this summer. I know there's a lot of folks who want to bring this information back to their neighbors and little communities. And so, let's put together a model that can be used for conversations this summer so that we have, so that phase 2 of this process starts strongly. So I sent around an agenda and some slides. I know there's gonna be a lot of work tonight. I'm imagining that the slides will be revised tonight as well. If you want to present on Thursday, please let me know. We're trying to understand who can and can't be there. We're reviewing talking points tonight so that we can be sure to have that for Thursday. Yeah.
Will you be advertising or doing something like advertising the remainder of this year, such as at the high school for the voting card?
Yeah, we are planning to have a table on June 11th during the school budget vote.
Yeah, okay.
Is that your suggestion? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That
Planning to do that.
in the November.
I mean, right now our focus is, getting us through the next month
Yeah.
and having some materials for the summer, and then we can talk more about what phase 2 looks like. But we definitely feel strongly that this needs to continue into the fall. And so kind of to that end, I will just mention that, I know we mentioned this before as a committee. I know Don mentioned this last time about, how we're all responsible for being ambassadors and talking to everybody about this work. We really want our idea phase to extend and to really give time for the public to contribute. We really feel strongly that we should not be narrowing our concepts down. I know we have presentations next week. But we feel strongly that we would like all 4 concepts to, be thought out and presented in June and have an opportunity for the public to provide input. So that come the fall and the beginning of phase 2, you have a lot of ideas and support around the four concepts and can understand how to move forward. So anyway, the point is not to narrow down too early. We really firmly believe that, and maybe we can talk more about that tonight because that will inform kind of how we talk about it on Thursday. Oh yeah, question?
Do you have any talking points for this forum that says to the public, what happens if we do nothing? What if we cannot solve this? What will happen? Will our classrooms all of a sudden go to 30 kids in a classroom? You know, what happens if we cannot find a solution here? So that sort of, maybe not scare is not the right word, but that hopefully will mobilize the community to say, we've got to solve this. We have to agree to something. Have we done that at all or not? No? Okay. Well, maybe that's something we need to think about. How we're gonna get people to see we have to do something here.
They, just a couple comments. They have prepared a deck for Thursday night communications group. They sent it around to the leadership team today. We're gonna look at it tonight and then give them feedback tomorrow. So that's great feedback. And then two, I think to address your issue, I think speaking for all the leadership team, I'm not getting ahead of them, and they'll correct me if I'm wrong. I think we decided it's really important that the four options everybody's working on, the four solutions, will be advanced to phase. That will be part of the final recommendations, is to bring them all forward as possible solutions so we can get a read from the community on what their feelings are about that. So that set the context to the four you're gonna present on Thursday night.
Thank you.
Okay, with that, the only piece of business we really have, and we've talked about this for a couple times, and I did send it around. It's a lot of work that, as I understand it, Tom Hall, April, Charlie, and Diane worked on, is trying to come up with just as you do your presentations, it's kind of a checklist of things that have been identified or things that have been flagged as important. Charlie's kind of developed it, it's up on the screen. We have an edit to it on line item 9, which says that the supports a minimum of 805 grades 6 through 8. I think that number is really more like 772. We will adjust that. But the intent of this, as you do your presentation, is just kind of go down through and let us know. And Charlie, maybe even show the drop down boxes. There's an assessment on here over to the right, but you have to click on the satellite, and that's why you didn't get it, I think, like when you did it. You can click on it and it's a simple answer of yes, no, and undetermined.
Yeah, so the idea is that this really just is something for each group to kind of help formulate your thoughts around what you're gonna put into the report. So obviously there are some things we don't know yet, right? You might think that your option could solve that. When the professional designers get involved, you'll know more. So that's why we wanted to have an undetermined. If it's we think so, but we're not quite sure, you can just put undetermined. And then it's just a simple up check or no, it's a yes or no, right? So if you're not quite sure, then you just select undetermined, otherwise it's yes or no. And then the idea being that just these are just items that you should address as you're getting prepared to do your paragraph for the reports.
Or items to think about.
Yeah.
And it's likely, as some of the other benchmarking data show, it may be that, if there's a new building involved, which some of you are working on, it may satisfy all of them. If you're rehabbing some existing structures, maybe there'll be some that it's addressed and some that it's just not able to address. So we're just really trying to, for people as they look at it, to really understand what the solution solves for and what the solution may not solve for. But at the end of the day, all four solutions are going to move forward. So it's not going to be a way of eliminating the report out in the next phase of this project.
Yeah, so it's modified from last time we talked about it. It's more of a score sheet kind of thing to help us, select one down, but since they're all going to move through, it's really just a tool to help you think about what you want to put in the report.
Column C that you would just, is that information in the column C that when you do a right click, it pops up?
Yeah, so you'll see that the arrows the drop down menu only shows up once I click into a cell.
Right.
So it's there, but if you were clicked out here, you probably didn't see the drop down menu.
I deleted columns D, E, G, H, I, so that I have room to print it.
So if you delete that, there is a hidden, the table that the drop down pulls from. It's right there, so if you deleted column F, then you deleted your drop down menu options, so
Alright.
I probably should have.
Hidden it somewhere else.
Charlie, you can put those options in the data validation
Yeah.
itself.
Yeah,
So you
okay,
don't
I
have to-
try to make it simple, should have known that.
So rather than going down through all of them, I know you guys are zeroing in on doing the presentation, but for the folks that are here, I don't believe we have a quorum. But just wanted, does this look like a reasonable sort of checklist to include in your work, just looking for?
So when I looked at it this afternoon, thinking about the group I'm in, I said partially. So undetermined is not partially. Some of these proposals need some of those recommendations, and to me, that ought to be a choice.
Partial.
As
another
yeah.
choice, partially, yeah.
That it partially, that we need partially some of it, because
Yeah.
I just have a difficult time when I get it so late in the day
No.
to make suggestions, since I work.
And then the 4 questions on the bottom were just things to think about if you're, if you want to address. So obviously it's not a yes or no, those are a little bit harder questions to answer, but things you might want to include in your summary is all that is.
Peter, we have a quorum.
Do we have one?
Is it the one simple majority?
Simple majority of, last count I had, we had 50 active participants.
Quick count of the room I just did was 26 people.
26, we got it.
Voting.
We got it.
Close enough?
If you wanna.
It's close enough.
Yes, yeah.
We're all voting as well.
So the meets minimum DOE guidelines criteria kind of the last meeting, but is that what the benchmarking committee sort of recommended? I can't recall from their presentation, just when we.
You're talking about line 10
Yeah,
on the students?
yeah, the 140 and 160 like minimum. I guess, are we only shooting for the minimum, or like should we have the benchmarking committee's recommendation in there for the guidelines?
So the last discussion was, actually, I was corrected that 140, 160 was the median from the DOE chart that we looked at, which I think I still included here.
And I think we actually had, a couple meetings ago, we had a robust discussion from a couple of different groups. And that seemed to be the comfort zone. I mean, certainly if your design exceeds that, that would be, a consideration, but I think that the group was comfortable, consensus of the group was comfortable using those ranges.
What I've done using the 140s and 160s and taking that into account, I've also multiplied it by 1.4. Because 140, 160 is a generic number for a bulk square footage.
We can't have that debate again.
Yeah,
Sorry,
we did.
Mike.
It is.
No, the 1.7, we already.
You cannot figure the square footage of the schools by taking and putting every.
Mike, we already dealt with this.
We had this debate weeks ago, what we determined, I think Sue found the reference, and we called the school, we called the Department of Ed, the 1.7 multiplier.
1.7?
1.4.
1.4 multiplier was on a different way of accounting square footage.
That's true.
There's 2 different ways to account for it. So
Yeah.
what the department guided us on was 140, 160 are the numbers.
Moving
right along, I think that's good.
So I think,
Sorry, I don't think.
Still come up with
Yeah.
a smaller school square footage.
so with any other, are people by show of hands, I guess we do have a quorum, so if people are comfortable, this is what we will, have you sort of report on, we will adjust the grades 6 through 8 and potentially add partial. And with that, show of hands, is everybody okay with that?
What's that?
To accept this.
To accept this as a,
Yeah, that's not a bad matrix.
okay. It looks like a majority. Okay, so with that,
When each team does this, are you gonna try and compare them and use them weighted? In other words, let's say one team doesn't have yes for separate gym and cafeteria at all schools. And two other teams do. Do they get a plus, an attaboy? No.
As I understand it, we're not gonna, what we're gonna do next week, everybody's gonna do their presentation. We're gonna, we are gonna use stickers to say, sort of force rank them, but all 4 proposals are going forward.
Okay.
This will be displayed, our hope is this is displayed next to the solution, so people, if they have questions, can look at it and make an informed decision about. I'm sure all of these are gonna involve some trade-offs.
I don't wanna hold you up, that was a yes, no answer.
Yes.
And for planning while people are listening and doing such, you'll likely only have 2 dots this time,
Yes.
rather than having 3 dots for voting.
That's unfair.
Cafeteria gym issue.
That's right.
I believe that's standard with the 140, 160. It's not an extra square footage that the 140, 160 will take.
It's included in.
It's included in that value along with classrooms and blah, blah, blah,
But
toilets.
I think the concept is they're separate spaces, they're not the same.
Well, yeah, they are separate spaces.
Well, yeah, but that's,
Can be a separate building, but
okay, so with
Got
that,
one more question.
Yeah, just a clarifying question. You mentioned quickly the
that's
dots.
square footage.
I thought we were advancing all 4
We are.
plans. Okay, can you just explain what the 2 dots are?
so I think only the dots are only trying to give an indication of where this group sort of gravitated to overall.
Okay,
It just is kind of just additional information, but it's not gonna be used to say, this is our top choice, this is our 4th choice.
okay.
Kind of like after absorbing all the knowledge and information and the month's efforts, these are where the majority of our minds kind of gravitated towards.
Okay.
It's just another piece of information for the Board of Education and Town Council to use as they ponder solutions.
I have a question. So if you have one group that's working on a proposal that has, I don't know, 15 people on it, and another group that's only got 4 or 5, and everyone gets the 2 dots. And so you assume that people in each group are gonna vote for their own choice. That's what they chose in the first place.
True.
So how do you expect that the outcome is gonna be any real indication of what the group thinks is the best?
Well, I think the fact that 15 people in your analogy gravitated towards a project is a meaningful measure of where the people in the room were to begin with. So maybe if we just said as simply as after baselining everybody, a large group of people wanted to work on this project, which is an indication that that's where people's minds were.
So why bother with the points, with the stickers? Done.
Well, have a second choice.
Yeah, you get a second.
Yes.
Maybe we do, the last time we did stickers, you could put multiple on one, maybe this time we say you have to put your second sticker.
Make a
your
second
second
choice.
choice.
That's a good idea.
Dave?
So just kind of unrelated to this, but the 8% escalation we were talking about, we have in the initial assumptions for that 610, that should be 6%. So the $610 a square foot for construction, that metric was inclusive of 6%. Just for the record. Not
We got the change, thank you. Did you, I saw you put your, were we right on the numbers for enrollment? Cause what I did, somebody pointed out this morning, I grabbed 805 because that was the highest number I saw on the chart, but I realized that was.
So 805 has historically been the highest, but going to the projections go forward, 772 is the highest. I guess my only caution with taking that back down is that if we look at the kindergarten to 2 grades that are really big, they're gonna move to 6th and 8th grade, they're gonna be big again, basically. So yes, technically the highest projection for it is 772. But whether you want to actually take it down to that or keep it up at the 805, which has historically been our highest.
Aren't they supposed to come out with a new projected numbering spreadsheet or something?
Why don't we go offline?
I actually think we voted on the number. I'll go through the notes and find what we accepted.
Okay, so with that, I think our next item was to, again, what we're moving toward is next Monday night. each group will do a presentation of about 20 minutes of their solution, which will be a broad outline of what you're proposing. Again, with this checklist, kind of talk to the things that are identified as needs and deficiencies, what your solution addresses or doesn't address. And then at the very end is just a rough sort of, to get to Sue's point, ballpark number of where you think, you know, the sweet spot will be for the cost. Is that clear? So I guess, so we'll break into groups and work until about 7:45. And then come back together, if that makes any sense.
7:45, you said?
Yeah.
I'll keep.
You'll keep tabs, thank you. Thanks, everyone. 10:45.
Stuff in 3 or 4, yeah. Oh, I think so.
Yeah.
Usually investment, you should service again. I should combine some potatoes here. Here, slide it right here. We have a smaller group tonight anyway, so. Did you see this article on the Greeley school? I know, I was curious what they were doing, and I really went into their full range of design. Very interesting. Not so much I care about how they're designing it, but how they're using space. That's cheap. Well, I think the big thing in this article was because they don't have the space for people already out there. And what they don't tell you is they're making money on it.
We'll come over, if they were here.
I'll be right here. I guess we'll share with you a conversation Carol and I had. Yeah. So, have a good one. I'm gonna hand this stuff out. Kind of why we. So they have spent a considerable amount of time. Better understanding of
Decide at some point in the future.
Yeah. After speaking with them, they started realizing this. It did seem like
Figure that out.
I know, I hear you, but, so.
I heard that kind of, everybody was watching.
That's,
Great.
after listening to the conversation tonight.
Might as well throw it out. So why say majority? It's better than none of it back on.
Yeah, so I.
Like, he's estimating that. So much fun.
Sorry.
We're gonna talk about it. That's my, because we got into a discussion about what we wanted to do tonight, and I felt like it was, let's just keep sending everyone so much information. Carol, would you mind sharing with me, literally right out of paper? So Carol and I had a long conversation, we've had we had a conversation today, and what we wanted to do is come as a group and present two options for us.
Set aside $2 million to get them up here. That's always been the, especially one of the.
You mean the cost?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know that they were able to.
And tax rates.
So the right is.
So fast.
That, what we do tonight may end up eventually resulting.
There's one way.
Our, so what I tried to do is break these down into snapshots. Okay, the source, there's just a couple housekeeping items. Carol had a discussion today about.
Yeah, that was the problem.
Flexibility to try and. And if you're gonna do a 2-floor model, it's 570 square feet. And again, that only represents classroom. And it does include some other basic things, but to Jack's point, heating and all that, it gets a little more complicated. So, Carol and I were talking about, well, what should we use for number? We just decided the best thing for us, because we know that number doesn't include landscaping, doesn't include engineering services, doesn't include all the other equipment, things like that. We just decided, why don't we just stay with this?
Value property.
Yeah.
600 properties.
That's
Option is, okay, this is what we talked about the last 2 weeks. This is a snapshot of what, you know, and some of it might not be easy to do just from a model, but the goal is to accommodate certain numbers based upon Carol's sort of reality of moving second grade into Wentworth, fifth grade. And try to make some choices for you folks.
Other towns are sold.
Hey, you got a week to present something.
I don't. Even if that becomes a 220 still in that
Right, but then that's when I just got my, so we're not able to advertise. Which is why we now have 4
But you have
three other.
security, that's.
Oh, I'm sorry, that would do, but that's something.
Right.
Right, so what do we have? Keeping the primary schools, adding on and building a 4th primary, which is essentially what that was. And having creating a 2-3, right? Yeah, let's see.
No, after.
And I think that's the best financial option to get everything
I don't know.
Oh, it is.
I think we should use this.
That's permanent modular, not modular, but like. Yeah.
What's sort of the nobody's walking.
Maybe
I'm not gonna go through it. That extensive the as-is plan is similar to what they are considering. So the recent one is a little bit bigger. I saw Mike's email today.
everybody is, what we've heard, we're
But I base this all.
Right,
70
to 100,
yeah.
100,
Plus
yeah.
like-
I think it's just sort of
Yeah,
a
so it's not a
assumption that 100 billion has got to be kind of, yeah, just the net number, we're talking about that.
No, I know, but if you're doing it fractions. So you're at 4.35. If you're at 5.2, you can't break it. We're at 1.9. I mean, I think sorry, 2.5. And this is me. You're gonna see some. So these are the estimated classes we're gonna use.
You know, it's like we could actually.
Free lunch periods, I don't even know what happened. Five, so going down to three.
Yeah, those are a lot different than I.
So.
Did not look like that.
Dana and And they have a
So we can do math to figure out. Take class.
Everyone is right, so tell everyone. You actually only ideas, like, and my son did a birthday party. What I would also say is like, if it's beautiful, and John said he would not spend any money or until like.
This would require an application. We have a new art space. No, this is primary. We'll get into their specifics.
Yeah, right? That's what I said, I was like.
What they actually saw. I wrote your library. Right, but I might have. More, moisture. I don't have like soil. So there's that play area, we just have a lot coming up.
On my way here.
So we're gonna do all our ideas, right? Both of these goals. The addition that is included is largely primarily academic, classrooms. I mean, you're gonna have, some of these are gonna have, you know, art space.
But I think it's information.
Bathrooms, things like that. This is small. Airman's 154,000 square feet. This volume, we'll get down below.
So, I know.
The Harriman calls for,
I mean, my guess.
I didn't expect it. So we have some renovating the existing primaries and things there. The middle school, this turns more into. You have 15 sixth grade classrooms. New art space, new library, new science labs, new special service rooms, which I include guidance counselors, full services, things like that. And there will be a Swiss gym. Like the primary. Cafeteria, that would be the thing, so I guess today I started looking at the cafeteria. There are spaces inside are adjacent to the access. It's not the telephone, it's grass space. I don't see how.
Yeah, so I got responses from all.
I don't think these spaces are all that.
Okay. I got a lot of but I think so I think that was a neighborhood.
I will, I'll show both sides, right? So this right here, if you fill in this area here, that would be like, I was gonna say that somewhere around 1,500 square feet.
I also don't know.
And then if you came this out here, it made this, it just has the door. That's another like.
I think it's like.
Slide. Yeah, so. So right here, I'm gonna, just so you guys can see.
We digested around, but kindergarten, the problem is, we only have one.
Yeah. So,
What is the current class?
It doesn't count for expanding.
we wanna bring the public.
I think that's
the issue.
Like, understand what the data is.
Right.
That's
There's a road right there.
Understanding the trade-off.
Yeah.
Like, even if it's.
I don't know what that is. Yes. Might be a difficult link. Yeah. Scott.
And so I don't think it's.
But I think it's likely that
Makes a lot of sense, but and this is not a layout, show me everything we got here. This is more of a. Yeah, people go to
yes, and we're not there.
One of the questions that Dave and I
Yes, so that's right. General concept is just for events. Yes. So Mike's point, Ryan said they'll have to put together. So,
This is what's.
So the only thing I would say. Primaries, actually did
So that's what I would.
What this will do is where I have to make this.
And maybe they just write it down. Thank you so much.
So have fun.
Thanks for
Yes.
So may the force be with you.
As far as other changes,
Right, it's not easy to access. You don't have all those things. You don't know what you're doing.
All these things.
as security investigators, that law.
I don't recall exactly.
That was already, so that's already done, that's great. And then
I don't know anything about. I think it's, yeah.
Mention you did that work. Have handouts. That's a trade-off.
So to your
Our initial recommendation was but yeah, it's really because.
Well, actually, theoretically, right, yeah, so. $85,000 count.
Maybe
And then corners.
back to like use. Right, like this kind of like big, pillar, thank you, right, that is a major support for the school, right in the entryway. Right, and so it's like, walking there, you walk into, it seems like, oh, you can just like build off from there. There's no clear line. It's a lot more.
So just some
No, no, and again, you know, Todd.
Why, I thought it was on the website and then maybe start a conversation with them.
Okay, so middle school, this is Carol's original. And so down here was based on the need,
So if you wanna.
This is different.
I like your idea, that's easy.
Yeah.
But I do think that they should all the ideas. However you guys want to set that up. Yeah, thanks for coming. This down right here is 7th grade, down below. 8th grade. I know there's offices there, there might be some, but there is some.
Divided by 950.
My friends can
My friends did
So it probably is still on my head as well. So I think
Not yet, but I'll show you. Okay. Sure, so we're, so in addition, like I said, you would have some of the new library. And special all things that they do. As far, there would be more renovations here than. Because I think you can have some different size. I think it's amazing.
The press is.
It's almost, they take the library barely just
He didn't send that.
Other than
No,
that,
I was just
that's
searching
pretty much
around.
it.
So then I'll say that.
This is a whole consideration, like some of the special services, it's multiple services. I don't, if there was like a separate membership. What it would. I had talked about, like, you know how like.
I'm like 2 miles out.
This weekend I'll go stay in the.
So, I'll let Carol jump in and we can talk about. I'm just using, I was using that as the only. No, we don't, and I'm using that as.
I just didn't know if that was.
Caroline, that's the highest. And figuring out from there, what do we help with?
How do you hear those?
I wanna make sure there aren't any concerns.
Underground. So we would have to break them down.
Oh, sure, 99.
I wouldn't mind knowing.
This is not how I.
You know, I'm only using information. I mean, like, I think there's some ways.
So, we get a little bit more.
I knew, there's enough land to do it.
They're out there, they're doing it.
Yeah, they're doing it again next year.
Yeah.
Wanna sit in?
I thought it was with that had
Those are the three biggest.
They're very, just not have fun seeing you. Right. That's great. Right. So my grill is on order, right? That's gonna be like, actually barbecue.
Talking about doing 91,000. I don't know whether that's 24
I feel like it's always a
100 square foot per student and 650 students.
I don't think I should.
So I don't know what kind of footprint that we provide.
Oh, that's fine.
Because it's a two footprint.
I don't know what to say, but
So.
Unlike your candidates.
You just put first and second. Here's the guy.
We're talking a lot about the voting stuff.
And then there's 60 foot.
Right, talking so. I just
Yeah,
don't-
and I think that's one of the things to learn, like, it's not. Really good. Yeah, well, we were actually, we were looking at.
They would have no idea.
Right.
K1's addition. Long story short.
They're not support space, it's not like, academic support.
And that's it.
Setting a standard.
We
do have some information, like, they gave us, they know how many kids last 3 years.
Yeah.
Some of the class shows have like just.
That would
Going that many.
Yeah, struggle as to how to.
Is value building.
That range is my healthy margin. Yeah. Hold on one second. I just want to explain her this one.
I'm just wondering.
That might be. Yeah. It's not so, I agree. Okay, yeah, so, or so just as the slides out, and you have them out at the handout. Yeah. And just instead of like presenting on like. Or basic needs that just. Right. That's what the need is, for the next 5 years.
I think you guys are like failing miserably. I know, it's, is there any plan or we just?
No, we have to.
John and I do. We felt that if either one of our two
We were interested.
Again, it's still, we're gonna push this straighter.
Yes. Some of them good.
Yeah. Our full project. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, that would take in
Yeah.
much.
No, it would have to be thoroughly vetted, it would be irresponsible.
You're right.
That's all the campus right there. What's not in there is gonna be totally different for the town. That's been, all those connections lines, yeah. They go, swing 10 feet from there to build options and everybody else, It's gonna be 70. They'll plumb it out. Enough water. I added in 30% number. We're not, I think we well, I think the non-Ford school is definitely less cost. The non-Ford school is less cost, but what we found is the non-Ford school doesn't deal with the traffic issues that we have at the three current schools, and it's gonna have.
Oh, right.
Which is one thing that was traffic is with the failure to solve those problems is that the support that the news get. Definitely. Yes. Now, the solution is what's on the downside that will not be done, but I'm not so sure the board is fully understood and appreciate it less than possible.
Right
No, the good process they follow, I think, process is that we extend it so long that it was disjointed, and so it wasn't for lack of effort, but it went on so long that we were disengaged. Or And there clearly were some failures.
So, okay, I said what you wanted me to say. I said what he wanted me to say. Moving on. You didn't hear what I said. Not all the schools. That was it. That was my original plan. Was not Tracy. This is where we go.
So they had 3 times that they did, and then they did survey. Yes, okay. Okay, nice. Yeah, that's okay.
2 going to Wentworth, 5 going to Wentworth. You're talking all the Carroll, plan A.
I have written it.
Plan A.
Give them
Yeah, give them a cake. Before you spend big money,
Yes.
talk to me first though. I'm sure we can cover this.
We're coming back together. Trying to respect.
No, I just want to say, this was for Thursday night, so that we should identify faculty. They have the problem.
You look so threatening. What is this guy? Did you start your own neighborhood? Hopefully this I talked about it, we were talking about earlier. Yeah, I'm just across the way. I live in
That's really amazing. That's more, yes, part-time, because the original referendum of the free flow open
My wife.
So any funds that are.
It's challenging getting people.
So I'm assuming that road is out on that curve by track view. So if you have track view, you have that curve, there's a running stream right behind that house on that curve.
Yeah, that's track. Oh, yes, correct. Sorry. Here, so. The other 5 are doing, probably conspiring against the right.
It started out, I said 3 daughters. And then,
We've already done
What they're doing down there.
and it's not
That's amazing.
make sure that.
It doesn't look good. Well, I need to read about one.
So,
Mine. is if we say this is what we support, there is an alternative. Absolutely. People want the easier conversations. Allows council to have.
Survey results.
Not just us. This, like, I can suggest.
Okay. Yep. Right, it has all the four spaces. Yep.
Very hilly.
Right, I don't want, yes. It has. Right, I'm thinking that right now. That's really
Every now and then. Yes, I would say that, I would like to hear. Alright, good, so. Great, you're pro option B.
When we were evaluating, my experience.
I just know the library.
Also tag on. I don't have traditional, I like grades from there. So I would push around this, but I think that we talk about our process.
I would start out with.
I think
I gave mine. I got it right here. So we can go through. Both options of eliminating temporary classrooms. Requires altering curriculum. Requires altering curriculum.
So that's.
That would be moving 5, 6, 7, 8.
So one doesn't. Well, I think it's a good thing just to kind of capital tax impact based on the numbers.
We don't talk about
Addresses safety and security at all schools, well, I think that's a great one. Well, at the time. Yeah, we're gonna try to reuse it. So let's think about separate gym and cafeteria for both. True, separate work music space and storage and also.
I would hope money be a little consideration. So the only thing basically moving 10, moving 5, 6, 7, 8. Yours, A.
15 minutes.
15 minutes left. I'm sorry.
It seems like
Still doing the renovations, driving, go on my vacation.
I didn't have time. Yeah. I didn't have time to break down. Carol and I had a conversation and I had to get this ready for stuff. But to your point though, it just comes down to what if we're trying to stabilize that $100,000, whatever money is left over from the additions we apply.
It was actually broken out.
Well, we borrowed more. Yeah.
With renovation, if I do my math.
I'm waiting for John to come back.
I think that's.
I think Carol's can be tweaked to get to 100. It's just that the basic numbers we had right today, you and I working with, we're at 100, 102. Yes, without gotten into demolition. But we can, Carol's numbers can, we talked about, we can do some things to fix it.
Present a challenge. They will. Parents and the teachers. Oh, you don't wanna public out. If you wanna sell it, you're gonna try to make it very easy. Yeah.
Less impact.
20%.
I'm not really, I kind of have a different view of both.
Mike, you're up.
Got a minute, Mike.
You're sitting there all the time. Don't mention square feet.
Just which one do you like?
Do you like A or B? I would see just like this.
Carol and I will wait.
I think it's I would say this is 45 minutes.
And Rod.
I agree with you.
Yeah, not in a pink. Is that all pink?
However.
Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you incorporate it?
That's why I said you can vote for your own.
Well, first of all, it's not really my own. I actually kind of looked it off history.
It's a piece of work. It's a thinking decision.
So that you're not going back to saying.
No, this is totally
Same thing I did.
I was teasing by the way.
No, I didn't.
where I'm at is, I want to be part of that work. Just providing these kids basic needs. Like the money. And I think we can do that. I like Carol's plan a lot. And I am
So
here
is there
for traffic issues that are causing the test.
Oh, yes, it's Thursday.
I
I don't know about Monday.
I'm not done.
Well, the building apartments.
Oh, okay. But then,
Commercialized area.
if it's,
Turn it into a So, but having said that, I am concerned about the price of that.
She's feeling.
Right, so, all right, let's talk with This is a lot. Okay,
We do. I think it's a hell of a.
I think Caroline's.
Thank you, Carol. Now I got it.
I know you had to dress.
All right.
That's good. Well, there was, yeah. That was really. So the reason why
I will never not
Grab that.
I'm gonna run down and catch the second half and then they're ready for it.
You were gonna propose it, I'm not.
I should be back. It's already, I think they're in the middle of the third quarter, so I'm just gonna catch it.
Don't bother doing that.
So let's, we got a couple of things. We need to do Carol and I are talking to do some of this, Jack, anyone else? So this game.
They're winning right now. I think if they win, they might get a bye in the playoffs.
So Charlie, the only thing is, maybe tomorrow, just want to go over what communications put together. They want to present it, they're saying, they haven't tried of the other towns. Yeah, I think it's depends on in scope, so by highlighting. So whatever you thought.
I'm gonna try to make it back.
Out of here.
Somehow make access now the road to get out. You know.
Yeah, but talk. And it's gonna have to affect all the overflow coming in from the primary, so in the end, we may have to expand Wentworth just to accommodate.
Well, yeah, they're already.
That makes part.
Yeah, they were we shouldn't. That's right.
I mean, with tax. I'm
fairly private. So I will not be around.
So like, either way,
So right here, right, we build on that at 50,000 additions, right?
you already have a lot of
610, 30 to 35. That's correct.
A lot of
Yeah, exactly. And then primary, 610 times the additions, not the renovations, the additions. 25,550 times that by 6.
Yeah. No, that's fine. I like this when you walk in, he's like, I was saying, you know, like, you're in town, this is this. I was gonna ask you for donations for Thursday, but I don't know when you donate. You know what I mean? Like, so I can't find able to donate water and then everything, like something.
That's what we're getting. Put in
Alright, I'll give them a jingle, because Jennifer's like.
You wanna look at it, it's online right now.
I was like, is that a classic chocolate?
Oh, there's like.
That's what John said. It's nice to be provided. It's not your responsibility to pay for that. So we talked to Jillian, and she's like, yeah,
Remember now, it's.
I hear you.
They don't, but if they want funds, they have to. Well, yeah.
I used to eat them all the time, and now I just like ever since having my hair, I don't eat them. I noticed the oil change
So what I'll do is,
but, you know,
so
unless maybe I'm trying to
I
figure
got a
out,
crazy
like,
next week, so I'm gonna up and down on something.
we can have this Saturday morning, if we go to Cape Cod into the area. Sydney Donuts, and then we make a walk a long way around to the, it's Harrison, I
It's past, David's. Sawyer's
Well, the only reason why I do Zoom is because I have all my stuff on my workstation and I have two screens going, I have it on there, and I've been in direct traffic. And it makes it easier for me, that's the reason why I do that. Yeah, so
All right, everyone.
Oh, yeah, I'm back
Can we
to.
wrap up? Hello? We wrap up, everybody come together quickly.
Alright, that's it.
Thank you. So I know everybody is anxious to get out of here. It's a nice summer night, maybe. I think our usual process is to report out if there's anything to report out for the groups. A normal process is to have each group report out, but you don't need to if there's nothing new to add, and you can move through it quickly. So Jack, I'll start with your group. Anything to share? Are you guys good?
Okay, who's our group? Carol?
Who's our group?
Okay, no, we had, all right, we had two options that we were going through and we decided on one of them. And that's what we'll be presenting next Monday.
Great, thank you.
3 minutes, see, with that light.
Five.
Yeah, that's good,
Want
that's
five.
good.
You guys are the middle school addition group?
That's what we would call it.
Okay.
Yeah. We
Just wanna make sure I
might
got
have
it
changed a
right.
few things.
You guys?
We don't have anything new to share, really. We've just been talking about refining our presentation.
Okay, great, thank you. Sue, your group?
We are of the thinking that the content is what really matters, not the presentation. So we will not be doing a fancy. And we're going with, you know, it's the ideas that really count. So,
Okay, will it be a write-up?
oh, yeah,
Perfect,
yes.
okay, thank you. And I know.
Yeah, could I actually ask if, so we really want to present some of these concepts on Thursday and, you know, very broadly and start a conversation and let people know that we'll be presenting on them next week, blah, blah, blah. Is there someone from each concept group that is going to be present that can kind of speak to the idea more? Yeah, Carol, yep, someone from this group? Or like, can you make sure we present it properly? Yeah, I've got a slide right now. Rick, oh, Rick will be there to present it.
I wasn't listening to what you were.
Rick, will you be there? You'll be here on Thursday, right?
I'll be there.
Yeah, okay, so Rick's there, okay, great. This group? Yeah, Sue, she'll be there, okay, awesome.
Can we,
And then the consolidated group? Unified group?
That's consolidated.
Oh, sorry, you're thinking of the fourth school group?
I'm an
Fourth
adverse.
school group. No one.
Yeah, it's just one person here from that group, everybody else
Oh,
failed.
sorry.
That's stressful for
So who are you gonna volunteer that will go?
I'll
It's not
say,
you
I
now.
think James should go because he's on leadership team, so we'll have James go for us.
I second that motion.
All right.
Okay, great,
and
thank you.
and I think what you sent us the leadership team a deck that had the 4 models explained.
Yeah, I sent it to everyone, but it sounds like
Not everybody received it? I can send it again, yeah.
Well, we'll look at it tonight, yeah, and then if the groups can look at that and give feedback to you, so if they're not there, you could through that at the high level. Yeah. Okay, and I think with that then, Dawn, I think you had something you wanted to share with the group?
I just wanted.
Oh, one more thing. No, yes, yeah, go ahead.
So I just wanted to talk about the little trinket that you got tonight. It was originally, and I think it's still for us to use during the Thursday night program, because we are gonna have some breakout groups and a lot of discussion groups, and we want the committee members to be identified so that you can take care, you know, be distributed through those groups and people can come up and thank you and tell you what a great job you're doing. So if you can bring this with you, I think it'll help the flow of that session. All right. The second thing is, as I've been trying to recruit people, public, to go to it, I've had a lot of conversations with neighbors, some people I haven't known very well. I have my badge on, so it looks official. And it's been remarkable. It's validated. I think what we're trying to do, which is have more FaceTime conversations and things, really makes a difference. Because you go into those conversations with people, you know, what are you here for? And you say you want to talk about the school, and you get some pretty negative reactions sometimes. But if you tell them why you're there, if you tell them they're not going to have to vote on anything for at least a year, and during that time, we're going to be getting them engaged and involved so that we can put together a really great program or set of models, people really light up to that and they actually invite you into their house. So this is an aid for canvassing and for engagement. That's important. And then the other thing is, you know, when we break ground in about 18 months, these are going to immediately become collectibles. So one of them, what's this?
Get a certain percentage.
And one of them, I bet will find its way into the time capsule for Scarborough next time we bury one. This is going to work. It's really going to work. And everyone that comes Thursday, it'll be great. Thank you.
Thank you, Don.
Thank you. And again, thank you, everyone. We'll see you next Monday night. Thursday. Yes.
Motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Thank you.
Second.
Thank you.
All in favor?
I thought my hands were
Hey, Jack's concerned about parking.
Listen, I was gonna say
$15.
We're gonna be going to school society. I presume you also saw
I tried to show them I had
So it's a simple equation. If you look at the last 10 years of tax rates. Yeah, they have. So how much money we need to raise? Divided by the total value.
Carol, I really do think, so. I was asking,
So as the total value goes from 5 billion and then if you look at the actual tax paid per share.
Well, there was some other number there. It was less.
but I just
Oh, yeah, the other program was still
Around Rockland side of Marcus House. There's a nice bar spot. Bring that in.
Yeah, I think we should say
Having one day off. But you go like, come by Wednesday, I'm like, Wednesday sounds great, it's like 2 days from now, no, it's tomorrow. That's
All these years, I can show you, I said, I can show you how to get to it. Oh, this is good. You know how big this thing is? I told her, I never, I was like, I was so afraid. Help me. Okay. I'm so sorry. And I'm better now at camera. Is he? Before you get started, I heard that might be a spot downtown.
Jean Marie's running.
I wanna see if I would scare him. That's somebody said that. You don't wanna roll first. I give it up. I wanna be on the outside.
She's not trying.
It's so much easier that way.
They're on vacation.
They'll always make it work for us too.
The only thing you can't do is be elected on campus.
Nice to see you.
All right, that's not allowed. Sorry. Well, yeah, just look at it. I think that's like a phase 2 type of thought.
Trying to get everybody out of here on a summer night. Public comment.
Oh, yeah, do we need to tilt this camera over? Zoom.
Okay, here, we use this as a tool for you to.
So maybe I could just, it's really about our process.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell Cheryl, we don't need her, we've got it in.
Good. You got it? Yeah.
I think last time.
That's all who shows the back of Italy.
voices. So Tom hides behind the screen.
Need just a motion to approve the minutes from.
Second.
All those in favor? Okay, the other thing is, the next item is just to talk about the presentation, so what do you guys think, in order to have enough time, 2 hours, maybe 20 minutes, 5 minutes?
Yeah.
10-minute presentation, 10-minute least questions. People are gonna have, we're not in these groups, we're gonna have questions about how we got this, or
Yeah.
get that.
I was thinking people, we've been kind of keeping people updated throughout the weeks, and we kind of all have a rough estimation, so I think the actual presentation itself might.
Because that's saying we're trying to solve the problem. We're now it's shut down.
Yeah.
Steve.
Right, or, you know,
Yeah.
Or something.
But you have to be.
Right.
Otherwise, right.
Right.
Don't have any way to kind of pinpoint time.
I mean, I know what they're trying to like, actually understand that you're back and forth, might help them understand, oh, okay, now I see why.
I think what I want is a, come out of this,
I wouldn't have thought of
because
that,
I got as far as, I'm just.
Do we have a handout yet?
Is in,
Take away with them?
I think they're working on that.
And then there's
I told my father he could.
yeah, and then we have the survey results. And then the next one.
He's like, I'm gonna go.
I'm just gonna tell
We
him.
wanted every single, I guess, probably just wanna be.
You're listening here. Okay, so maybe like we're fine.
Who would say, this is how we do this.
And you're gonna be
Communications committee or the whole?
the whole committee.
The whole.
My boss wants to.
Okay, that's good.
This is how we've been working.
I'm serious.
Yeah.
Have maybe one slide that says like very high level.
There will likely be none, but if there
needs. Yeah, cause we're like,
because we should
these
start
main
something.
state guys, like maybe the criteria matrix, but a lot similar. Like we need to meet minimum guidelines on space. We need to.
Well, we have to meet state requirements,
Yeah.
and I think it's good.
We are committed to bring.
Yeah,
We can't argue about those, so.
Yeah,
right.
We're gonna walk it back.
Yeah, okay. So
we're
that,
ready to start.
and then that could be a nice segue into like.
If he really would like to do
Groups
it.
have looked into ideas.
I'm sorry.
We're working on 4 right now. Here are the 4.
We don't know how the.
What are your-
So, anyway.
Open to
Yeah.
more.
You know, I mean,
I think that
What are your
opens
thoughts?
more, so we're asking. Listen, we have them are going to be encouraged to present or have a conversation. Stickers on.
I think that's something
somebody
we should,
say that.
I think that's something we should do, so it's.
I also think that like moving, like this group is not representative of Scarborough in the way that the survey was. Like the survey was specifically.
You know, they might have, well, what about you?
Everyone, yeah, yep.
That's for this. And it's like at least one person. Are you comfortable talking about?
It's just another piece of data we can provide phase 2, while it doesn't have to necessarily share time with weight.
Yeah, it's gonna be really hot.
Yeah, you man.
Are you ready to sizzle?
Oh, you'll be surprised.
I think this sort of, no, we had an interesting conversation about ranked choice voting, so.
Sorry, what's the? What's
Simple approach.
No, that's the other, a different.
It's just not what I'm
All the
doing.
red ones.
That would assure.
Because that, well, unified is not.
Is your number one choice.
Right? But I'm calling it a community school.
The second.
The reality is like.
But how would you know someone didn't walk up and just do yellow?
Yeah.
I like your, I would never share, but I like your
You
idea.
have to assume, like, you have to assume
Yeah.
responsibility, right?
You could always just take the dot and do like 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, as long as there's no like 2 1s or 2 2s.
Potato potatoes.
This way.
Like, I like your idea that.
I walk on it.
Don't put 2 on 1. I think most people, if not all, would follow that rule.
Yeah.
Okay.
And this is my call.
I think James had taken a stab at I think what,
Yeah, for the exercise for the four school ideas, I know Dina had.
I'll send that out tomorrow, sign up for different parts that they may or may not want.
Shared it with what, you and Charlie and
Share.
James got it.
James got it.
That's the idea.
And the only other thing, everybody maybe take a look at, the communications, we did send us this today, this is what they want to present on Thursday night.
There's been a little bit of shifting there.
We're gonna have a slide deck that they like.
Towards like basic.
Printed out.
The whole slide.
Yes. And then other materials.
Probably too much, but like, I always donate
That
to
will be
the
ready
fire.
before we go.
That would be really, yeah. Yes, yeah.
Which is good.
Yeah.
Softball, you know,
So
and
I
then I
was
like
instead of
Yeah.
something
talking
fancy, like
to
something class.
Yeah.
So I hit power, so I
The concept. Yeah, I know, it's late. And then.
And much trouble.
What actually?
I sent that is a small group discussion. I would like to talk with
And of course,
Dana about that.
everybody else,
Yeah.
yeah.
How,
Scarborough
what
says,
questions we would like them to ask so that it's.
Yeah.
Small group
Peter made a
Yeah.
good point.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's.
Right, but that's not.
Yeah, you don't have to know, I know.
Yeah.
But my thought was,
I think we can agree that it would be great,
just ask them.
so I have a Facebook page, it's really
Still
discuss
use
the
it.
concept.
Yeah, so just
Bring up, I want to take some ideas.
And see the comments that I wrote in there.
What did you want to add something
I can see it on
like?
mine.
What would you like to read about?
Like ask them more time.
Yeah.
Would be concerned.
And add, say, are there anybody, this would be the.
So
the other ideas.
say that Scarborough has that isn't necessarily correct because
So they will have.
focus area that we're looking at, which is really our primary schools, do not have those solutions.
Do you, were you able to?
They have them in Wentworth, that's what your note said.
Wentworth,
Right,
yes.
Wentworth,
Yeah.
so yes,
Not
we
the-
do offer them in Scarborough.
So so it starts in grade 3, so I don't know how to delineate that, but I just wanna make sure that we're not putting out incorrect information, right? Because then some community member reads that, their kid signs up for kindergarten, and they're like, where's the Spanish class? You know, where's the STEM lab?
A boy, yes, which means we get, if we have more proposers, the question I'm asking at their tables is, what did you like about each proposal? What concerned you about each one? Do you have any other ideas?
Right. Yeah.
We have food, we have flip charts.
I don't.
I have a school
What
that's
else?
an arm their copier for as much as.
What do you like about each proposal?
That's
I
pleasant.
don't know, I mean, I'm not saying that.
It's because I worked there for 2 years.
It is
I think we should
accurate
narrow it
in
down.
terms of
Working on
K-12. Right.
What do people think
There,
about this first?
I feel like that is a little bit more, I wonder if that's a little bit more accurate only because they've got like here, yes on to, no on to. Right, so at least if nothing else,
Well,
this
you
school
know,
district reported out.
depends how many people are there and how much you can have, what we're trying to encourage
Elementary
them
schools anyway.
each other, not with us, about what they think.
So the only one that we would have to
What are
check
the things
about.
they're being attracted to that will cause them to vote for something or cause them not to vote for something? Because if we share that with each other, then they can see how much maybe difference.
They're trying to say, you know, like, here are the districts like that.
First question and how that's
Who are the districts that are most like us and
How
what
that's
types of
how that's gonna
programs do
land.
they offer and how do we kind of shake out? And so I think that is what that speaks to.
Right, that's a good question.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't think we have time to talk about this on this one, you know, that one, ask the question, was that another?
I believe so, yes.
It'd be nice to be able to-
That's why I'm asking.
Starting to
You know,
look
how
at it, the only other thing
It's a lot.
Yeah.
very end, they conclude with what comes
So what
next.
else?
Yeah, they have, and so they have listing of dates, upcoming events, and we talked about it a little bit, but they have June 3rd, which is fine, but they have us meeting June 10th.
I think my opinion was to get to, I'll confirm with Dana what the
The need for us to
question
have
is.
this for June 10th.
Yeah, I was actually wondering that myself, for next week.
That kind of one of your own dates.
We want to kind of early say.
Yeah.
Or just have them be silent on it, at least on the staff. 2 slides.
Not if we need to make that decision right now,
Right.
maybe we don't advertise it, right?
Silent,
For the
yeah.
purposes of Thursday, they don't need to commit us to.
Perfect.
It might be
I don't
helpful,
know,
like,
what is
maybe
it?
chairs here, because it might be helpful in drafting certain parts of this report, programming, benchmarking, what have you.
Yeah, so if we can literally show.
So for this, I think what you're suggesting is
Okay.
be silent from them.
They literally were like, oh, it's on the website, you had to go to like this tab, there is that.
Yes.
If you want to get back,
Megan Tara.
Can I get to otherwise I'm going with it?
And I would make sure we have.
Not necessarily.
And then the report itself.
Yeah, I have direct people to the website, we show the website. I'm excited about the neighborhood.
Because I wanna show my stupid.
Yeah, because you told me to do like a quick, do we wanna do a quick slide?
I just sent an email, she was like that, right, because I think months ago, just started with this.
So that I can point out where to put
An assumption being made that we were gonna need to, there were gonna need to be some taken, right, by the council and the school board. Since then, it seems as though we've kind of changed course because we've recognized the value of multiple voices in this early stage, and so I just was working on it and then this group called me over, and so I just sent it a few minutes ago, but I sent it just to, you know, the town council and school board members at the time, saying, originally we had said we would have like presentation to the town council on the 26th, and then another presentation to the school board, and a vote for the school board on the 27th. And it just seems like, given the fact that we're in a different place, what's our next course of action?
That's the difference in house that we thought this report should be reporting to the school board, but let it.
Well, that's what I was wondering, like, could it be a joint workshop? Right,
Something like that, but I
something
think
like
the
that.
idea was it actually be given to.
So the official handoff and a closeout of this work.
Yes, right, but to do it two evenings, you know, again, if there's a reason for that, that's valid, that's great. But it seems like we're in a different place maybe than we perhaps thought we would be, which I think
So
is
we're gonna
absolutely
change
fine.
that, that ought to be changed.
Yes,
So the idea was that when I talked to Shannon, because we're on the 26th, school board's on the 27th, right? We figured 27th, Peter, your local chair should be willing to go to the 27th board meeting, right? And present the report and say, here's the work of the SPDC.
Good luck.
And, you know, with counselors, I didn't tend to attend the school board meeting, just sit in the audience or whatever, just to show support, but I feel like a presentation from Peter would be appropriate to the school.
yeah, and then I think the joint bodies still need to kind of then map out like what comes next.
Maybe sometime in July, or
Right.
August or whatever.
So does that have the 26th on it, Peter?
Well, this has a joint presentation, so we just need to change that
I
to
think
the
we're talking
26th
27th.
for a joint.
Yeah, one and done. Yeah,
Oh, just one and done.
Make it one.
So just.
It seems like it would be a
So it'd be
duplication of
it'd be a wee
efforts.
meeting and councilors would be invited.
Okay. So with that, that's all I had, guys. So,
Yeah.
you know, it's getting dark, you guys wanna get out of here. If the Celtics aren't on tonight.
That was an amazing
I should
video.
introduce like 3 new ideas right now.
I'm still waiting for my treehouse idea.
They work. Anything else, anybody?
I'll reach out to James on the outline of the report. I think the sooner we can get an idea of the different sections, we can start to parcel that out to committee chairs to do some of that work. As I recall, some of those presentations were very content rich. Someone can turn that into a paragraph.
I mean, I think, we can attach some attachments right to the actual presentation, so we'll have the richness of.
The report itself, you're trying to look at the same style, is that like
AI.
organization,
Put it into AI. Chat GPT.
I know.
It's a-
Oh, got the request.
Yes, no, so we've kind of been revamping our presentation and decided to not report on data from the assessment phase, but instead restructure it so that we focus on survey results, our process in terms of work group composition and how we've like arrived where we are now, and then a discussion on the 4 concepts we're considering, and then kind of at group or interactive exercises throughout.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, and then if
Because those
people
are,
want
you're
more.
not gonna hand those out.
So we were thinking about having those slides as additional data sources, but if there are concerns with them.
I don't know.
So I guess I'm kind of confused why there's confusion there, because so all the data that's reported on there is stuff that I've gotten from people on what they presented.
I think
But if
that-
we're not
Yeah.
comfortable with that, we don't even have to share that.
Well, so Diane just brought up a point, so yes, 3 to 5 has that.
Oh, right, I saw your comment. Yeah, I saw your comment.
Yeah, so
That
it's
footnote.
partial. That could be corrected, that could be fixed.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Just wanted to bring your attention.
Yeah.
Alright, so that could be like additional information if people want it.
If
but
people
it's not
want
like
it,
gonna be presented.
No, correct.
Yeah, that makes.
We're trying to keep the spirit, I guess, collaborative and conversational instead of just like.
Right, yes.
Okay. Does that sound good? Yeah.
So you're not gonna talk about the assessment.
Yeah, or not the key findings from that, but we'll talk that we did it. We'll say that we did it.
I'm just thinking about the gentleman's comment earlier today about, you know, what is the problem and what if we do nothing? I think that's important. There's a lot of community members out there that aren't connected to this.
Yeah.
They just see when it comes up for the vote, they may not fully understand what the problem really is.
Yeah.
If you have an opportunity, I think, to have a forum of community members, it's worth at least stating the problem. And I think if we don't address this, right, we've known this was a problem. I didn't know that until we started this thing. This goes back to 2011. So I think.
Yeah. Once Doss goes, yeah, you do this.
Tell them.
No, do it. Cause I tell you what, one of the things you're typing, type Doss coming back.
Yeah, no, absolutely. We were thinking of the criteria we talked about this evening. We were thinking, is there a way to share that maybe at a higher level, or maybe have a few bullet points to say, like, we absolutely need to like meet these guidelines and address safety and update the system. Just have that as a very high level.
Yeah, that's what I would do, just a
Yeah.
high level statement of the problem.
Yeah.
and-
I
Okay,
think
cool.
you can use those criteria, right? Like you can rework those criteria.
Yeah.
To make it
Okay, cool. Okay, I think we might do that, and then that could feed into a conversation of like, this is what these concepts are trying to address. What are your thoughts, what are your concerns, do you have other ideas?
Can I ask just the expectations for time, time management or use on Thursday? So how much time do you think is gonna be, just cause I have friends that are going and I think I may have painted a different picture than what's gonna be reality. So how much of it is gonna be like hearing public feedback, having conversations in work groups versus like doing a slideshow?
Yeah, I think now we wanna do at least an hour of, I mean, broken up, but an hour of exercises.
Okay.
And then half an hour max of slides, probably less than that.
That's
Yes.
great, yeah.
Yeah, that's.
I think if you have
Just
more
enough to, like, set
interaction
the-
time
yeah.
than like sitting time.
Yeah.
You need more.
That's great.
Great, does that sound good?
Yeah. I'm gonna check with Louise what my question.
Does anybody from the leadership team want to speak there? Open up, say thank you. Yes. No?
That's no.
That's no? Oh, I don't know, that's no.
Chair should speak.
Yeah, thank you.
And the other one is, yeah.
Okay. Great. Do you mind like opening?
Oh, you're a big word, okay.
Yeah, just tell me what I would, but I'm gonna be
Tell me what to say?
I'll be there.
You know, just,
Alright.
yeah.
Or yeah, or I could
Speak
say.
on behalf of the
Framework
collective
of what you
bodies.
want.
Okay, cool, great.
I'm gonna try.
How we're creating these ideas.
Are you going?
Just Megan.
No,
Yeah.
you don't want me to speak. I have to present a disclosure.
Thank you.
Great, thank you.
Thank you so much for all your work.
That has to do with these concepts, right? These criteria.
Thank you.
Right, so it's what I'm saying, it's that